What's going on, Knicks family? Um, I wanted to test this out real fast since I'm doing a live broadcast in a couple of weeks. So I wanted to test this out, see how it works. Let me know how it works. So I'm gonna quickly talk about the Blazers game and get on with the rest of my night. Let you get on with the rest of your night. But a few things that I noticed about the game. One, and I'm sure you noticed it as well. The Knicks missed Kanter. Um, he provides so many things for the team: defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding, and the fact that he can post and create a double team so the Knicks can kick it out and swing the ball around the perimeter is sorely missed right now because Hernan Gomez just can't do it. Kylo Quinn, he's not a threat in the post. So with Kanter playing in the post and being able to draw that double teams, it creates a lot more ball movement for the Knicks. And the fact that he's a threat himself, he can get us 16, 17, 18 points from that post area. Right now it's definitely hurting the team that we don't have that option. So that's one thing that we've seen over these last 3 games. And it's not a coincidence that Kanter's been out 3 games. Excuse me. It's not a coincidence that Kanter's been out 3 games and the Knicks have lost 3 games in a row. That's definitely not a coincidence. They say that he'll hopefully be back Wednesday. And, we'll look to see what they do Wednesday. We're definitely going to need him there. So that's something that I noticed throughout the last 3 games is that we sorely miss Kanter. I want to know what you guys think about Jarrett Jack being benched. He was benched most of the second half. Hornacek pulled him out and put Sessions in the game. I don't see that Sessions did much better. He definitely didn't stop Damian Lillard. But is it a sign of things to come? We've talked a little bit about Jarrett Jack running out of steam. And, tonight, Damian Lillard was taking it to him. He was taking it to him the whole game. Jarrett Jack didn't have any answers for him. And, Jeff Hornacek went to see if Sessions, who's got a little bit more speed than Jarrett Jack, but defensively, he's still not better than Jarrett Jack, I don't think. He might have a little bit more foot speed, but he's not better than Jarrett Jack defensively because he's not smarter than Jarrett Jack defensively. And he's definitely not as smart as him and doesn't have the command of the offense. But the question is Jeff Hornacek starting to feel that Jarrett Jack maybe isn't giving what he was giving at the beginning of the season? Who knows? We'll see what happens in the next game. I'm pretty sure Jack could still start. But we'll see if he's quicker to go to Sessions or even quicker to bring in Frank. I really like the way Frank played in the fourth, but I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Do we want to play Beasley more? The last 2 games, Beasley's been a spark. Versus Houston, Beasley was he started for KP, and I don't know exactly what he scored. I don't have any stats in front of me, but he dropped 30 whatever points. Now the thing about Beasley is he gets in his head a little bit offensively and starts jacking up anything from anywhere. And there's a time when we need that. When KP was out, we kind of needed that, especially in the first half. But he doesn't know when to calm down, and he takes his, sometimes he takes his little breaks on the defensive end, so it hurts us. But maybe it's time that Beasley got a little bit more burn. Maybe took some of Kylo Quinn's minutes. Although he and Kylo Quinn play a different position, Beasley's still like 6'9", 6'10". Kylo Quinn is 6'10", so Beasley can play in the power forward spot alongside Kanter. Or if you go a little smaller and put KP at the 5, Beasley can play that 4 spot, and he brings a little bit more activity, especially offensively, than Kylo Quinn. He can rebound. He's a good rebounder. He doesn't play defense as well, so that would definitely be the downfall with bringing Beasley in. But it may be time to give Beasley a little bit more minutes because he's brought minutes, and you see tonight in that fourth quarter when he inserted Beasley into the game, it brought some energy. He was able to score, so we'll see where that goes. Unfortunately, over the last few games, well, these, we're 20 games into the season, and we still got a lot of questions. We still got probably more questions than answers, but I guess that was to be expected with this team. Now let's talk about Frank. I see some good things from Frank. I like the way he stepped in when Beasley was in his little bit of a scuffle. I mean, Frank thinks he's a tough guy, really. He kind of thinks he's a tough guy. He stepped in and stood up for Beasley. I admire that in a young guy. I like that he was a little bit more aggressive tonight. He didn't shoot a high percentage, but he was aggressive offensively, looking for his shot a little bit more. And we need him to continue to do it. I think the more that he is aggressive offensively, the better he's going to get, and the better it's going to be for the team. He helped to bring the energy to the game in the fourth quarter when the Knicks tried to make a run. What I noticed is in fourth quarters, when games are tight, he's not afraid to shoot it. I had that one game where I thought the moment got to him against LeBron and those guys, and he was afraid to take a shot. But in the fourth quarter, he'll shoot it and he'll knock it down. He shoots it with confidence in those moments. It's like throughout the game, he may be wavering. Do I shoot it? When do I shoot it? Where do I shoot it? But when he gets into that fourth quarter and those crunch time minutes, you don't have time to waver. And he just pulls it and he shoots it with confidence. So I really like that about the kid. I like that Joakim Noah came in the first half and gave some positive minutes. Came in with some energy. I'd like to see him get a little bit more burn. He's he's got the length. He can definitely play defense. He's not going to play the minutes that he did a few years ago. He's just not that player right now. But he can bring defense, and if you play him in spurts, especially behind Kanter, once Kanter gets back, you can get something out of him. Are you getting $17 million worth or whatever his contract is worth? Maybe not. But you know what? At this point, his contract is out the door. There's nothing we can do with it. We take what we can get. And if he can come in and give us some good, strong minutes of playing really good defense and rebounding the ball, then that'll be a plus for us. Definitely be a plus for us. So here we are, 20 games into the season. We're still not sure what the Knicks are. It's a quarter through the season, and they're 10-10. We began these 20 games with a 3-game losing streak, and we're ending these 20 games with a 3-game losing streak, and we're dead even. And maybe this is just who the Knicks are. Maybe they're just a team that is a 500 team. These first 20 games, we were building a foundation. These next 20 games, we'll be looking to develop an identity. So there's a lot to talk about with these next 20 games. I think these next 20 games will tell us whether or not the Knicks are a playoff team or a lottery team. Yeah. So, like I said, I was just testing this out. I'm going to do a bigger live event in a couple of weeks, and I wanted to make sure that this worked well, see how everything looked, see how everything was going. Um, I'm gonna pull up a couple of stats for tonight because I want to talk about them a little bit, and then I'm gonna get on up out of here. Let's start with the Knicks. Bad shooting from everybody basically. Tim Hardaway shot 33%. Porzingis 37.5%. Courtney Lee shot well, 55.6%. 14. He had 14 points tonight. Courtney Lee has been our rock throughout the whole season. He's consistent. He's our most consistent player. I think he's a leader. He's not afraid to speak up. He's been important for this team. Someone asked me the other day, or I seen in the comments on another video, they asked me, do I think we should trade Courtney Lee? I don't. I think he's valuable for this team, especially for a young team. He's the kind of guy you want because everyone's going to respect him because he produces on the floor and he's a leader in the locker room. I think he's the kind of guy we need, and he's on a reasonable contract. I don't see any reason to move him unless we're definitely getting, someone who's going to contribute more than he does. But I like Courtney Lee, and I like what he brings to the table. He's someone that I think we need to keep around. Let's see, Kylo Quinn, 8 points, 11 rebounds. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Even though he got those 11 boards, he still doesn't give us what Kanter gives us offensively. Then, of course, if Kylo Quinn can give you that kind of energy and production coming off the bench, and Kanter can give you that energy and production as a starter, when you have to promote Kylo Quinn, put Kylo Quinn in that starting lineup, then you lose a little bit coming off the bench. Even though Kylo Quinn, he played well tonight in stints, but there's been some things that he's done that's kind of got on my nerves a little bit. Sometimes he does some knucklehead things, but he played well tonight. Hernan Gomez he wasn't bad, especially in that fourth quarter. His defense, he played better defense, and maybe he's starting to get into the groove. He's been sitting a lot. Maybe he's starting to get into the groove. In my last video, I said that he looks like a G League player, but he looked better tonight, especially in the fourth quarter. So maybe it's a turning point for him. Maybe it's a turning point. Frank, 6 points. He was 3 for 11 shooting. I'm glad he shot 11 shots. I don't care that it was low percentage. I'm just glad he shot 11 shots. He had 1 assist, 1 rebound. He's gonna get better. He's gonna get better. I think that, let me see. He played 20 minutes. I think it's time to give Frank more minutes because the more he's on the floor, the more comfortable he's gonna get, and the more things he's gonna do. He's not gonna be worried about getting pulled out the game and things like that. I think we need to go ahead and start giving him some heavy minutes and letting the kid play. I think that's the only way he's going to get more comfortable. Right now, I kind of feel like Jeff Hornacek is protecting him a little bit. Doesn't want him to experience, I don't want to say experience too much, but doesn't want to put him in too many heavy situations yet. But I think you need to just throw him out there and let the guy go. And I think the more he's playing, the better he's going to get. But I do understand, Jeff Hornacek wants to win as well. And I'm sure the team wants to win. So he's going to play the people who he thinks is going to win him the game. But I think that Frank can help him win the game. I'm sure being that he's a rookie, there's a point where his returns are going to diminish. That's when, you pull him out. But I think you get him back in and let him restart. I I just feel like the more he plays, the more comfortable he's going to get and the better he's going to do. And that's when we're really going to start seeing success from him. So I'd like to see Jeff start to play him a little bit more. But for the most part, man, the Knicks, they shot 39.8% from the field as a team. They only had 13 assists. They averaged 22 on the season. So it really wasn't a good game at all. Wasn't a good game at all to that fourth quarter when they started playing with some energy. Now, hopefully, maybe there was a malaise with the team over the holiday weekend and everything. So maybe we'll see the next game that kind of get out of that funk and they can step back in with some energy. Let's see. Who do we play? We play on Wednesday. We play Miami. That's not going to be an easy game. Miami is 10-9. They are an aggressive defensive team. They may not have the 3-point shooters that some of these other teams have, but they're going to come at us. And we struggle playing against aggressive teams. Teams that come at you tough defensively, we struggle with them. We find it hard to create space. KP has a problem creating his own shot. Gets thrown around a lot. We'll see what they plan to do with KP. So this not going to be an easy game. Lucky for us, it's at home. But it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a tough game. We're going to need to step out of whatever funk we're in. We're going to need to step out of it and get to playing. Let's see if we can get some stats on Miami real fast. Let's see. Kanter's going to be going up against Hassan Whiteside if he's playing, which sound like from the broadcast that Kanter will probably play on Wednesday. So that's going to definitely be a challenge, and we got to look out for that oop to the basket. We're going to have to look out for that pick and roll. If you look at my last video, I talked about the Knicks' trouble defending the pick and roll and how it opens up 3-point shooters from the baseline or the corners. Well, it also opens up that oop to the basket. So the point guard, if you got a good point guard, and they do, and go on Dragic, the point guard, they're going to run the pick and roll at the top of the key, and he's going to look to see, okay, am I going to penetrate and get somebody open in the corner or on the wing, kick it back out to the top of the key? Or we're going to get somebody helping out the roller so I can swing it across court to open up someone in the opposite corner. So we're going to have to watch it because Goran, he can pick you apart. And if we're not good at defending that screen and roll, we'll be in trouble. Now, do they have a lot of 3-point shooters? I don't know. I haven't really studied them that much, and I'm just kind of jumping on to test this out a little bit. Like I said, next time I come on live, I'm going to have some more stats for you. But Miami, they shoot 45% from the field, 36% 3-point shooting team. They average 43 rebounds a game. Compared to us, we shoot 47% from the field. We didn't shoot that tonight, though, so I'm sure our field goal percentage dropped a little bit. 35% from 3. Average 44.5 rebounds per game. So they're not a shooting team, but we don't want to turn them into one either. It doesn't mean that we just leave that 3-point line naked. We got to try to cover that. So we'll see what's going to happen on Wednesday. And I think I'm going to jump on again after the game on Wednesday. I need as much practice as I can with these live shows. So when I do one with a group of people, it looks smooth. I'm planning on doing a show where I have some Knicks fans come on and we do a little question and answer and talk back and forth. So if you're interested, let me know. All right. So look, I'm gonna sign off for the people who check me out. I'm glad you checked me out. Wednesday night, I'm going to be on again live after the game. I'll have it a little bit more together. I'm just kind of testing this out tonight. I have it a little bit more together with a few more stats and some things to talk about. And I look forward to talking to you guys then. Have a good evening.